Question 23. Work out the value of 5 over root 3, subtract the square root of 6 3/4. Give your answer in the form k root 3. Now this is the hint we're given, is that we're trying to get everything into root 3. There's some very common practices with questions involving surds and fractional surds as well. And these practices can help us to try and rearrange this problem into something that should look a lot more familiar and involve a lot more root 3s. The first one is when you're trying to remove or change a fraction that has a square root on the bottom or on the denominator. If we take 5 root 3 and multiply it by 1, we haven't changed the fraction. But we can also write 1 as square root 3 divided by square root 3. Now, while this might not seem overly sensible because we're not actually changing anything, it does mean that we remove this root denominator. We end up with 5 root 3 on the top divided by 3 on the bottom. Now this might become more useful because now we're left with 5/3 root 3. Can we do anything with this 6 3/4? Well, at the moment we've got a mixed number here, so it could help us if we put this into an improper fraction. 6 3/4, well, 6 times 4 is 24. Add the 3, means this is also written as 27/4. So if I'm wanting the square root of this, we know that it'll be the square root of this improper fraction as well. 4 is a nice number though, so if we use our rules of surds here, we know that the square root of 27 over 2 is another way of writing it. 27 is another really useful number because we can separate this into the square root of 9 multiplied by the square root of 3. All of this would be divided by 2, giving us the square root of 9, which is 3 root 3 all over 2. So now we have two fractions with root 3 at the top. This is starting to look a lot more useful. So if we put these back into our question, we have 5 root 3 divided by 3, subtract 3 root 3 divided by 2. Now because the denominators are different at this stage, we can't just subtract them. But what we can do is try to find a common denominator. In this case, between 3 and 2, the lowest common multiple is 6. So what we're going to do is we're going to just double the numbers in that fraction, triple the numbers in that fraction, which would allow us then to take the two fractions away. So if we multiply this by 2, we're going to end up with 10 root 3 over 6, subtract 9 root 3 over 6. Now we can take these away. 9 root 3s over 6 taken away from 10 root 3s would leave us with 1 root 3 over 6. But the question wants us to put the answer in the form of k multiplied by root 3. So what we would do is we would take this division, pull it out to make it 1/6 multiplied by root 3. 4 marks.